the way forward, and we're going to run through some of the recommendations, a legal framework in the process and the procedure of the election, and in terms of vigilance, which I think for me is very critical, not only on the political party side of things, but also the citizen. Mr. Chidoka, what are the things that we need to be looking out for in terms of the recommendation and the solution to some of the gaps that the Athena Center have found out?
Okay, so the first one, let me take it at the polling unit. I think we should deepen the use of technology at the polling unit. Two things should happen. The BVAS has an accreditation module, and it has a collation module, if I got INEC right in when they explained it to us first. So I think they should activate the collation module. What that means is that after the votings are done, they should enter the results into the BVAS, party by party, and the agents can sign on the BVAS, and then they should enter it manually, so that you will have a paper trail of what happened. Now, the one on the BVAS will not allow you to inflate the results, because if the total number is more than the accredited voters, it shouldn't allow you to compute. So the worst you can do is to be able to maybe redistribute the votes, but you should be able to enter votes that tally with the accreditation, because without accreditation, there is no voting. So I think we should do that, number one. Number two is that there should be visibility about the presiding officers and the collation officers. What it is like is you are a fuel petroleum trader, and you have a tanker and you buy petrol products. So now it is at almost, it's 700 naira. So once you buy 33,000 liters, you know how much money is involved. And then you give it to the driver. Once the driver leaves the fuel station, all that your money is in the hands of the driver. The whole of Nigeria's election expectations are in the hands of the presiding officers and the collation officers. So we need to have visibility about who they are. So the INEC should publish on their website, polling unit by polling unit, the names of the people.
And when they are registering them, they have their photographs.
Photographs, yes. They should register them, put them there with their photographs and say, this is the presiding officer, the assistant presiding officer, and this is the collation officer for your work.
And sometimes their details, their phone number, everything is there.
It's there. Yes,
so
sometimes.
If you have all of these things at stake, and Nigerians should be aware
that's why
that people to hold accountable is not direct.
No,
the INEC chairman.
The INEC chairman.
No. Because those guys are away from
the INEC chairman cannot give any instruction from Abuja to the INEC people in Enugu, because they don't know him, they don't care about him. Yeah. So what is happening there is the local issues are driving it. But once you create that visibility, and the political parties are a major disaster in Nigeria, because the political parties have not developed the mechanism to have proper polling unit agents who will enter the results and also hold the agents.
Because you ask yourself,
where were your party?
If those, the reason why party agents are there is supposed to double check on behalf of the party.
They're supposed to sign the
eyes and the ears of the party on the ground. But if they signed also, it means that they agree to
what happened.
Exactly.
So I believe that there is need for visibility, there is need for accountability. Now there is need for the INEC form to contain what I call an affidavit section, where the electoral officer should swear to sign that the results I am entering here are the valid and correct, and I'm liable for prosecution in the event they are found not to be so. I think that there is need for that at the polling unit level.
We need to
at the collation level, I think we should do that. But more importantly, and this is quite fundamental, INEC has power to review results within 7 days. I think that mechanism have not been used by INEC. They should be able to review what the BVAS has against what has been entered and make sure they cancel all the appropriate results that needs to be cancelled. The 7-day review should not just only be INEC. It should be a hearing where the parties will tender their evidence of what they think went wrong, and INEC should review and make that happen. And finally, I think that we should ensure that we go back to Justice Uwe's report. An election offences tribunal should be set up. I believe we should contain, more importantly, and this is critical, all swearing in must be finished. All the petitions must end before swearing in. We must make sure that nobody takes advantage of the lacuna in the election.
These are major reform,
and then before they go in, for the election.
And you know,
I believe also we should scan the results, all the digital, all the paper ballots. They should appoint election auditors to scan the results. So before we get there, people should not be sworn in until the election results are done. There should be an electoral offences result, and
we need to go now.
And then INEC must upload the form EC8B, the collation report. The way they upload the EC8A on the IRE, once they finish EC8B, they should upload it. So people can cross-check that what was in EC8A is what made it to EC8B. Plus, they must upload the BVAS report. We shouldn't wait for a freedom of information request to see what the BVAS are credited. Every BVAS machine should automatically upload the number of people it's accredited.
We're totally out of time.
Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, the results are going to, the final verdict from the Supreme Court is going to be in a few days for some of the elections. But here we are. The lawyers in some of these cases now have some insight into how to go about some of these litigation.
Interestingly, our program is not for litigation purposes.
Yeah.
We have made it clear in our disclaimers. This is not a legal opinion. This is an opinion to enhance the credibility of our elections.
All right.
That's why we waited till all the filings have been done, so that we make sure that our case is not for court case.
Osita Chidoka is the Chancellor and the founder of the Athena Policy and Leadership Center operating from Abuja, Nigeria, a former Minister of Aviation and a former governorship candidate in Anambra State. Thanks so much indeed for your time tonight. I wish you the very best, you and your colleagues. Thank you so much indeed also for engaging us on this too.
Appreciate it.
Well, that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m.